Hello, 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 everybody. It is 10:03 p.m. July 4th, 2026. Happy Independence Day. For all the people that are independent, you too will be targeted. They don't like if you're independent. Yeah, these control freaks. Control freaks don't like your independence. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing well. I see that there are 8 people. Hi, Nick, welcome. Hi, Joe, welcome. Hi, Lorna, welcome. Happy July 4th, Independence Day. Hi, John, welcome. Yes. Yes, we can all celebrate Independence Day because everybody who's in the chat is an independent individual. You are not a sheep. You do not go along to get along. Hi, Sue. Welcome. Hi, Fred. Hello, all you independent people out there. Hi, Julius. Welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in, guys. All of you independent people, you can think for yourselves. You cannot be coerced, bribed, blackmailed, threatened. You think for yourselves. And that is why you are a targeted individual. Or at least one of the reasons, right? Happy Independence Day. Normie's got it made. So blissful. Yes, they're so blissful. Blissfully unaware. I don't know, in some ways, there's something to be said for ignorance is bliss. It wasn't so bad when I was not in the loop about everything that was going on in the world. When I didn't vote, I didn't watch TV, I didn't know anything about the FBI or the CIA or technology, or I should say the kinds of technology that we are assaulted with. I was clueless. Yes, I saw that. I saw parts of it. I started to listen to it this morning. I don't know if she's a judge, maybe a senator, Luna, talking about the CIA MK Ultra during the congressional hearing. I was like kind of zoning in and out of it, doing other things. Yes, no new information, but it did make a mental connection about Charles Manson. Exactly. That was really good. That was important. And then, of course, there was the question. Yeah, she's a senator, right? Then there is the question on how many people died. They don't know. And allegedly they burned the files or got rid of the files, but rumor has it that they never got rid of the files. Hi, Eden. Welcome, welcome. Yes, happy July 4. We've come a long way, right? Yes, Manson was a CIA operative, or maybe he was just a mind control person. He was crazy looking, wasn't he crazy looking? He almost looked like a lot of the school shooters appear to look afterwards, after they've been traumatized, after they've been V2K'd. We survived a program trying to literally kill us. You had nightmares of Manson when you were little. Oh, it was very scary. Yes, MK Ultra is Manson, and perhaps the guy. I'm always forgetting his name. The guy that killed John Lennon. And what about the son of Sam? guy. I mean, we all know what happened with Aaron Alexis and Kohlberger. Helter Skelter, it's a demon possessed. Absolutely. Yes. Yep. You know, in hindsight, I look at all of that so differently now, knowing what I know about not only being targeted, but everything else that is happening in the world. Yes, Satanism, CIA, program. Your tinfoil hat theory is this: Manson was sent after Sharon Tate, who was married to Roman Polanski in 69 and 68. Polanski directed Rosemary's Baby, which exposed the satanic cult. That's true. That is true. Yes. Yes, Joe says our country got sold out when Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act. Oh, that's another. Yes, that's true too. The CIA was running. Let's see. Say I was running coke and doing rituals in the hills. That would not surprise me. Actually, before I left New Jersey, hi JJ, welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up because a lot of you guys are in the chat, but there are only five thumbs up. Before I left New Jersey, I was reading about the CIA because I didn't know anything about them, and I was horrified. Yeah, I was horrified. That the satanic cults supplied the CIA Project Monarch with. I'm not going to say that because that might. Yes, yes, with the little people. The little people, yes. Exposed satanic cults, which are widespread in the US. I had no idea how widespread it is. Again, until I realized how targeted I am and watching what goes on here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Oh, they do that. Hi, Mark. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. They do that. They take control of the keyboard. They type words that you didn't say. They want to make you appear as if you're not speaking properly. My phone is not all that smart anymore. And somebody's got hold of my phone. It gets so hot sometimes. So, as a targeted person, does Independence Day have a different meaning for you? Do you feel, I mean, this is going to be a rhetorical question. Hi, Annie. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Is anyone independent in the United States, across the world? Is anybody independent? Stingray tracking makes it hot. My phone gets so hot sometimes I can't even touch it. And this has been going on since New Jersey. It's not just a Kentucky thing. You know, I've had the same phone since New Jersey. Oh, you called Senator Luna and thanked her for the hearing. It was the first hearing on MK Ultra since 1977. Wow, it's long overdue. No. Well, it's interesting because I've always felt like I was independent, like my mother was, my father was. I mean, I kind of grew up. Hi, Nettie, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Happy Independence Day. I mean, my parents kind of raised us to be independent, to think for ourselves, to not be a sheeple. And then you get stuck in a program like this where they want you to be like everybody else. No, they actually just want to study and experiment on the independent people. Yes, they include MK Ultra in this community harassment Absolutely. Oh, that's so true. They said 140. Yes, I heard that. 149 programs or sub programs under the MK Ultra, and that's only what they documented. Imagine all the ones that they didn't document because they were so horrific. Yes, absolutely. The program is filled with free thinkers. What would they do without free thinkers? Oh, listen to this. 1 second. Let me find it. This just popped up. I don't know if you listen to Brian Enton. Listen to this.
Reportedly at the local library. Why would they include that? I tech at Los Alamos, but also doing research on quantum physics and being in more than one place at once. That is what the police report says, and they didn't elaborate on that. Another lab worker with links to national security we're learning about has gone missing. This is an older case, but new details about it are now coming up. Anthony Chavez was looking into the question of matter existing in two places simultaneously when he disappeared. That's what a friend told police. That's what's in one of the police reports.
So this person was studying how matter can exist in two places at the same time, and he disappeared. Well, guess what? Matter can exist in two places at one time. Do you think that the military is well aware of that, and that they actually utilize that kind of technology to be in two places at the same time? Like, could be on my property even. Yes, independence is an illusion. We're only independent as long as we don't threaten the powers that be. And if we do, we'll quickly find out how independent we truly are. The Patriot Act trumped our Constitution. We're all being watched. Sub-programs, they all have names. Yes, thank you, Joe. Welcome newcomers and first-time people. Eden says, I'm a DARPA super soldier with 8 semiconductors tied to CERN, 3 styles of martial arts, 6 weapons trained. Bodyguard high value assets, they torture me daily. Time travel is possible. Project Atlas and Alice. They based everything down to a science, and we are their science projects. Frankenscience. That's exactly right. Frankenscience. And I'm just going to.
When a person has osteoporosis or osteopenia, they need confidence in what they're doing.
You followed me across state lines.
It is an assassination program.
30 years in Alabama, Jersey girl with perfect plans. Garden raising my daughter, healing cats with gentle hands. Astrology blog.
I've got to play the music because it makes them nuts.
Masters and bachelors, both with honors, so the world would let me breathe. Anytime my name on a sacred list, paid strangers to make me bleed. So I packed up everything I loved and drove south to be free. But freedom wasn't far enough.
I agree that about CERN. Yes. Being in two places at the same time. I guarantee our military can do that.
You double down in Kentucky, thought the country would swallow me whole. Joke's on you, I'm louder than ever, and I'm never letting go.
The technology is off the charts. Literally, where would they be without technology?
I earned carry into this dirt with blood and sweat and grace. You can fake the papers, you can poison the well, but you'll never erase my face. This is for every targeted woman they try to make disappear. You're green with the hurricane, listen close, you'll feel that in the air.
Hi, one. I feel the same way about the New World Order. It's so insidious. They want to control everyone. It's not going to work.
Kentucky clay on my boots, title deed in my grip. Camera rolling 24/7, I'm never gonna quit. Watch me grow.
Okay, now that we got that done, let's see. It's run by an ancient quantum computer by BlackRock. The Bin stone that fell with Satan, now Lucifer. The Bin stone. Are you talking about the Georgia Guidestones that they tore down? Yes, it is definitely Satan worship. Absolutely. Oh, and one, you were asking how you can get in contact with me. I'll type my email address in the chat. Yes, Saturn and Satan, same thing. Astrologers always joke about Saturn, that the only place for Saturn is the only good place for Saturn is in somebody else's birth chart. Yes, they do like to up the perping on weekends. You know, the weekends is their little bread and butter. The merging of the man and machine. They should realize already. You know, Elon Musk, when he had the Neuralink with the primates, they all died. So if the primates all died, what makes them think that humans are not going to? Yes, black stone, black rock, black goo, black. Yes, black out. Yes. Yeah. Yes, the weekend is our playground and bread and butter clown idiots and a-holes. There was a movie called Angel Heart that came out when I was in high school about a singer who sacrifices a human life to make a deal with the devil to gain a golden voice. Well, you know, celebrities have claimed that that's basically what they do. I remember seeing Bob Dylan interviewed, and he was asked a question like, how have you been so successful all these years? And he said in the interview, I made a deal with the devil. Made a deal with the devil. And that's what they do. Yes. Yeah, do you remember that? On 60 Minutes. He said, I made a deal with the devil. Yes, I'm not exactly sure when Catherine Horton's targeting started, but yeah, she did work at CERN and left. Black scrying mirror are phones and TVs, which is used to astro project. CIA uses black boxes, Wi-Fi signals too. Oh yes, that's what it was, Joe. I deal with a chief commander. Yes, that's what it was. Yes. Xbox is a C. In a roundabout way, he meant to say the devil. Okay, got you, got you. But it would have been too much shock for the regular TV. Isn't that amazing? Well, I at least I heard this, and I don't know how true this is, but you know the Bee Gees. Well, there were. Let's see. I'm trying to think. There were four of them. There were three, and then there was the younger brother. And somebody told me that in order for the last one, I forget his name, to be where he is, he had to sacrifice his brothers, like one by one. They had to sacrifice their brothers. And it's the same thing with Julian Lennon. Let's see. If you sit around police departments, you could watch from the distance, you could see them carrying black box. Really? Black boxes in their vehicles. Wild to see them addressing MK Ultra again publicly. Yes, yes. The younger brother, Andy Gibb, that's it. Yes, Andy Gibb. That was his name. Yes. The elites participate in human sacrifice to gain demonic power. I believe this is actually an ancient practice that survived Christianity because it works. Oh, goodness. Well, there's also the story about the blues musician getting his fame from doing a ritual at the crossroads to make a deal with the devil. Oh. LSD is distributed by the CIA. Police use a patrol car to gather your bioinformatics, capturing your body processes all data collection. The crossroads is in Mississippi? Oh, that's interesting. You sell your soul. It is a real place in the Delta farmlands. Hi, Forethought. Welcome. You got to make very huge sacrifices sometimes. And that's all that's left is you. B.B. King has a song about it. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Julius, you know what? I realized that when I started reading the book in New Jersey about them, that the CIA is the source of modern day drug addiction problem in the U.S. Yes. Well, that is another source of controlling people, is having them addicted. Morgan Freeman is from the Delta of... Oh, really? Flock cameras zap your phone for information. Well, a lot of people are deflocking. You watched the MK Ultra on YouTube yesterday. Yeah, so did I. Oh, I was trying to watch it, but I was in the middle of doing so many other things. I would stay away from those flock cameras. Fortunately, we don't have any here. You posted a video on quantum dots, which is exactly the technology used to know your everyday move and keep us under 24/7 surveillance. Thank you for posting that link, Joe. Follow Mark Steele, microwave expert. You just interviewed him. That name sounds familiar. Mark Steele. Mr. Putin says 95% of the terrorism comes from the CIA. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Didn't Kennedy? Isn't that what got him deleted? Saying that he was going to splinter them into 1,000 pieces or something like that? Yes, the smart does too. 7? That I did not know. But 7 is a Saturn number, 7. All multiples of 7 is Saturn. Let's see. CIA has protected the trade of drugs and humans, including children, to fight communism and, of course, to control the American people. Yeah, I mean, you guys teach me things. I don't know these things. I honestly don't even, I don't have time. And there's some things I actually like to stay dumb about. I don't really know what, I want to know what the CIA does. Let's see, they flooded China with white heroin. There's an ant walking across my laptop because these criminals have ants everywhere. So is it quiet in your neighborhoods for the 4th of July? Because it's dark here and I don't hear any fireworks. I mean, I heard like a couple of firecrackers earlier. It's just such a waste of money. I know there's some things I'd rather not even know. Yeah, exactly. Fireworks is a huge noise campaign. Also, you know what? It creates a lot of air pollution. It freaks the animals out. You know, I remember like when I lived in New Jersey and the fireworks would be crazy. How many people would lose their dogs? Dogs would get so scared. They'd run out of the backyard, run out of the front door, and just disappear. 900 flock cameras. Well, then it's probably a good idea to not move to Virginia. Virginia, tons of CIA assets live there. Hi, Van Life. Welcome, welcome. You're by the beach in California. It's super busy, lots of partying. So it's 7:30 by you in California. The idea is that that's funny. The fourth art says the idea is that you have a life, but they just want to be a part of it. If you get what I'm saying, yeah, that's a funny way of looking at life these days. All the perps are partying after a long week of participating in a slow kill programs. Yeah, well, that's what they do. I mean, I walked to my mailbox. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. There were seven perps that drove by within a very short period of time. I'm thinking 7? Like, I live in the middle of nowhere. Where are 7 people coming from? Where are they going? There is nowhere to go here. That 7 people would be out on the road at the same time. Well, a subscriber recommended that I purchase a book, and I did buy it. Let me just plug this in here. And I'm going to have to look at my front door and see if my cat is sitting out there, because she did not want to go in the house. Let's see, your neighborhood is quiet now, which means nothing in hell. 7 gift cards. They probably have makeshift tents in the woods for their toilet routines. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't be surprised, when I hear them doing the little hoot owl sounds in the woods behind my house. You have to wonder what else it is they're doing there. Yeah, they're urinating there too. It's part of their ritual. I don't know if I told you guys, in New Jersey, I had a 6-foot fence, and it was always locked, like double locked. I wrapped cords around the locks and then put more locks. Well, one morning I woke up and there were piles of human feces in the backyard. Piles of it. I guarantee, like that little group of Manalapan police or effers decided they were going to jump my fence, the 6-foot fence, probably with the very long ladder that my neighbor kept outside, and did that thing. It was really funny. It was really cute. It was so much fun. So yeah, Fred says they probably have makeshift tents in the woods for their toilet routines. So anyway, the book that was recommended to me was The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Unlock your master key to success. Yeah, those flock cameras need to go. I think the website is DFlock or something like that. People who have subscribed to Flock, you have a paid subscription, have unsubscribed, but they're claiming that the cameras are still working, so they're covering them with plastic bags. But there is a website where you can type in your zip code or the name of your town to see how many flock cameras are in your area, and they'll show you the map with like little pin marks. Exactly. There's one at the end of your street. Anytime you leave, it's just another way to gang stalk. The thing about them is, it doesn't matter if you're doing something wrong or not, because they can easily fabricate something based upon who you meet. If you're meeting somebody for lunch, well, that's absolutely true, that the flock cameras are a decoy. They have much better surveillance from the sky. But I'm not so sure that the surveillance from the sky is surveilling everyone. I mean, I don't know. I haven't performed any research on that. I'm sure they have the capability for it. Perhaps some of the data centers that are going up around the country are involved in it. I don't understand, though, how, the powers that be think that all of this technology is not going to negatively affect them. Let's see, in apartments, their office is usually placed near the unit of the targeted individuals. By the frequency of doors opening and closing, that's a red flag. Hi, Buck Ransom, welcome. No, data centers are not the same as fusion centers. Fusion centers are usually under the heading of Homeland Security? It depends on the state. In Kentucky, the Fusion Center is under Homeland Security. Data centers are an offshoot of fusion centers. Are the data centers working with Palantir? Are they collecting information to go to the big data center in the sky, being Palantir? Let's see, flock cameras have the possibility to lock people in 15-minute cities in the future. Data centers do harm the land, just as fracking does. Fracking is what causes the earth to rumble. Where there's a lot of fracking, they have more land tremors. Bug says, I think Palantir is positioning itself as the Antichrist Central. But I'm thinking, like, if Palantir is like the largest data center, why do we need all the smaller ones? And then why do we need fusion centers? It appears as if the fusion centers are specific to the targeted individual program. Your mom is praying you have a man, haha, not in this mess. Well, no, I hear you. Buck thinks that fusion centers are used for training purposes. Well, we know that the fusion center operatives go into communities and spread the slander campaign. I know that Karen Stewart has specifically stated that they're the ones that fuse all of the data together and concoct the false narrative against a targeted person. They go into the communities and spread the slander. But you have to wonder, like, with all the data centers, do we really need then fusion centers? And if we have Palantir, will Palantir eventually make fusion centers obsolete? Let's see. All they have to do is flash a badge, show false paperwork, and everyone believes it. I know. Isn't that amazing? Like, I want somebody's business card. Like, I would be the wrong person for them to approach, because I would ask for their business card and I'd say, you know what, can I get back to you? They can predict future crimes at fusion centers. Well, that's what they think. Yeah, you have a bunch of psychopaths and narcissists get together attempting to predict future crimes. They do, yeah, they do advertise for the predictive policing, which is absurd. They can't even get the facial recognition correct. Like, do you know how many times, like, I see videos online where the facial recognition technology has pulled up the wrong person, and the cops, arrest the wrong person, the wrong age, the wrong color, the wrong height, the wrong weight. I mean, how do you get so many things wrong? Well, I guarantee that I could predict something better that they can. Let's see, how come they can't predict the ongoing kidnappings? Good points. How come they can't predict where all those missing children are? The 800,000 that go missing every year. How come they can't find those, but they can track down senior citizens in the middle of a national forest? Hi, Pamela. Welcome, welcome. Happy Independence Day. Aren't you glad you're an independent woman? Oh, the ants are everywhere. It used to be they would just dump them in the kitchen sink. But no, not anymore. Now I've got them crossing my keyboard. I've got them coming out of my dishwasher that I never use. So I decided to bring in my cat's front line and just spray everywhere. I mean, I don't have animals living in here for the most part, so why not? I'll just spray it. Let's see, the reason they can't predict the 800,000 children missing is because they're involved in human trafficking. The evilness on this earth and planet globally is insane. Yes, yes, that's very true. The new 4th of July and liberation from satanic full spectrum dominance plan. Hi, Elsie, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up, guys, when you come in. Yes, so all the independent people are in the chat. And all the sheeple people are your neighbors, the perps. Well, I agree. I agree. We all share this earth. It doesn't mean that they have to be part of my existence. Hi, very soon. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And I have been wanting to watch that Vigilante movie, Joe. And every time I click on it, something else happens that I just can't get to it. The Amber Alerts with all children trafficking. Also remember Adam. Oh, I remember that. That Adam Walsh, that John Walsh is. Yes, yes, I heard that. Yes, that who killed him to get fame and fortune. 8 years old. I know that's horrible. It was so horrible. The CPS network with probably. I mean, look at where they place children. They literally place children in the homes of pedos. I agree, JJ. Homeland Security is a joke. It's just another way to control us. Some bullcrap agency. Well, obviously, Homeland Security is not protecting the homeland. I have reported to Homeland Security that I have had 5 grenades thrown on my property. Did I hear back from them? No. I contacted Homeland Security about this weird plane flying back and forth over my property. Do you think I heard back from them? Nope. Nope. So obviously they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yes. Yes. What is that? Watch the Hi Rooster. Watch the documentary Three Identical Strangers. They separated triplets at birth. Oh goodness, that is horrible, and experimented on them throughout their life. That is horrible. That is a parent's nightmare. Imagine. Horrible. Yes, yes. The John Benet Ramsey was in the Epstein files. Yep. point being, this child trafficking crime has been going on longer than we could imagine. That was such a beautiful little girl. I mean, what a tragedy that was. But alternately, if you're going to dress up your child and parade your child around in makeup, prancing around, unfortunately, she's going to attract the attention of some unsavory people. You cannot do that to your child. That's why you should not have your children's photos on the internet. It is very hard on twins. They are linked to each other. They're bonded. They are a bonded, I can't even say pair, they're bonded together. Yes, that Adam Walsh case was crazy. I mean, I only learned about that like later and years later about what really happened. Let's see, Forza says the people think the Dubé stabbing is a joke because they wear a costume. I agree with that about JonBenet Ramsey's parents. Yep. I suspected them from the beginning. I mean, let's face it, they were parading that little girl around as, they were making money off of her. She had no childhood. Hi, Amy. Oh, welcome, Amy. It's good to see you. You poor thing. You've had such a horror show with your internet connection and your credit card and your email address. Happy Independence Day, everybody. In as a targeted person, looking at the news from decades ago, I have such a completely different perspective on those missing people. They do. They sell their souls and their children for fame and fortune. Well, Michael Jackson's father did that, right? And look at poor Britney Spears. She's been controlled by her father. This is a bunch of greedy control freaks. Brooke Shields, exactly. Yes. Yeah, she was 10 years old posing for Playboy. Yeah, Amy, it's been at least 3 months, right? I know, I feel so sorry for Britney Spears. Yep, her ex-husband. Yep. Yeah, Amy was unfortunately hacked, I believe. Her email address was hacked. Let's see. Nettie says Ted Gunderson, FBI agent back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, brought out gang stalking, and they ignored him. Well, you know what? They always ignore people in the beginning because the truth is very difficult to digest sometimes. Hi, his girl. Welcome. Yes, happy Independence Day, or unhappy unhappy Independence Day. Yeah, they like to screw with your finances, Pamela. Gunderson was a good man, along with John DeCamp, Gary Caradori. I don't know who that was, and Nick Bryant. I don't know who those people are. Let's see. Pamela says, now I know they're saying I'm not qualifying and have to be in school another year to get your captain's license. You know, that's the one thing about education and certifications. They're always changing the the qualifications. You always need something else. Like you could be midway through it, and then they decide, okay, well, we're going to add this. So you've got to change things up a little bit. Oh, so the approval for A disappeared. You need to contact them. But let me tell you, we're in a Mercury retrograde, and Mercury rules all kinds of communications. So you're going to have to double check. Mercury retrogrades usually for a little over 3 weeks. So it affects communications, technology, contracts. JJ says, I'm under the impression that this wireless technology has changed people's behavior patterns. Well, it's certainly possible because it is electronic. And how many times, like, I'm sitting in front of my laptop now. I've got a Wi Fi router here, even though I'm plugged in, to a hard line. And see, that's why a lot of narcissists are slipping. Right now, the masks are falling off. Yeah, school is always a lot of work. And it's so stressful when you're relying on some kind of financial aid. Did CERN shut down? I haven't heard anything about CERN, like in the news or anything recently. The demons are starting to show themselves. Oh, they just leave garbage all over my property. They open portals of the demons. Let's see, Homeland protects the criminals just as all the agencies do. Well, have they stopped any shooter? Have they stopped any crime? Like, have you heard in the news that Homeland Security prevented X from happening? I have not heard anything like that in the news. Even like when I scroll through YouTube channels and news alerts, I never see anything that Homeland Security did anything, solved anything, prevented anything, involved in anything. Let's see. John DeCamp and Nick Bryant wrote books about the Franklin scandal. Gunderson interviewed Paul Bonacci and Alicia Owens, who were victims. Most crime, besides the petty ones, are mostly manufactured informants, literally protected to carry out crimes on all levels. That's interesting, and that's quite possible. That's right, they're never prosecuted. That's exactly right. CERN is getting upgraded? Oh, goodness. As a victim of stalking, you're not necessarily at fault either. Well, I don't believe that targeted individuals are at fault for anything. I mean, well, none of us are perfect, but nobody should be stalked and harassed and tortured the way targeted people are. I would like to see them prosecuted. Yeah, have you caught that on camera, Amy? About the bulldozer? I have heard of citizens' arrest, but I don't know of anybody that has ever done that. If the police are useless, that doesn't mean it can't be taken to court or that you can't seek out a lawyer. Well, you know what? I know a lot of targeted people that have contacted lawyers, including myself, and they just don't usually get back to you. I don't think them being protected is relevant. It actually plays a huge role on why they haven't been prosecuted. CERN is tied to the ley lines to gather up biomedics information is truly the machine running the timelines. The freaks are protected. CERN is the bottomless pit, in your opinion. Okay, okay, Pamela. Go walk your doggies. What do you do when most police are Freemasons, including judges? I I don't have an answer to that question. It's like a little boys' club. It's just a boys' club. Something that there have been more people waking up since CERN shut down, implying that brains can function more efficiently. Well, the criminals decided they're just going to hit me in the head right now. Um, I hear you, Julius. I don't trust them either. And the justice system, it's so disheartening. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I was in court filing lawsuits during a 3+ year long divorce and then post divorce and then having a stalker. Let's see, remember, God doesn't like ugly, and these evil demon gang sucking pigs are going to face Judgment Day, and it's not going to be pretty for them. Well, we can only hope, right? These people better stock up on sunscreen. It's going to get really hot where they're going. Oh, that's so funny. People who use their children as shields as an excuse are sick. Well, I agree with that. I think that's really crummy. City One says, that's why I think there will be many catastrophic events that will play out judgment on Babylon. Perps want to know your real name. That's true, Nettie. There are so many catastrophes across the United States. It's crazy. I think we all have, I definitely have a lot of responsibility. All of us have a lot of responsibility. I just want to scroll up a second because I'm missing some comments. One says they can't perp if the grid is down. Freemasons believe you have to do evil to balance the good. The checkerboard symbolizes that. Interesting. Fourth Lord, what are you referring to? You got a whole lot of responsibility to have fun with that if it becomes a barren wasteland to your benefit. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Let's see, the powers that be are using the electromagnetic spectrum to control the weather and is causing earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. People reporting that the weather is not normal where they're living. Oh yeah, I dealt with all what you're referring to when I was in New Jersey. Oh, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I wanted to read something. It's called. I'll type it in the chat. I've not heard of this before. Let me see if I can cut and paste this. It's a PubMed Central peer-reviewed article in the psychology section, and it's called, here, let me type it in the chat here. Concerted Collusion, Studying Multi-Agency Institutional Cover-Up. Many important organizational events do not lend themselves easily to experimental manipulation, and thus one can only study them retrospectively by combining the investigative tools provided by both the social sciences and humanities. A cover-up, meaning an attempt to prevent the public from discovering information about serious crime or mistake, is such a phenomenon. The objective of the present paper is to develop an initial taxonomy of how organizational researchers can study what happens when multiple organizations and institutions conspire to cover up the causes of a tragedy. For this purpose, the 1989 United Kingdom Hillsborough tragedy and the 27-year cover-up will be analyzed. Hillsborough is the best and worst example of a cover-up, and that the objective facts were known from early on, but the subjective elements like the attitudes, the bias, and collusion resulted in a 27-year search for justice for the victims. 27. There's that number again. Saturn. It deserves special attention as an example of multi-agency institutional cover-up, and that the range and diversity of institutional actors pitted against the victims grossly outweigh them in terms of material resources, social power, in terms of social class differences, and the ability to control the narrative of the tragedy. Using a thematic analysis approach, 5 main themes were identified as: 1, unwilling but compliant participants who are unlikely to be whistleblowers; 2, suppressing or withholding important information; 3, proactively engaging in support of related actors and institutions that help create a critical mass; 4, owning the narratives; and 5, moral disengagements. And these are some of the key words for the article. I'll post them in the chat. I'll actually post the link to the article so you guys can save it. Let's see, the bulldozers are left by the sheriff on an adjacent property for months. They tore down another home already, broke your HVAC. Oh my goodness. That is so horrible. Okay, let me get this article. 1 second, where did it go? Here it is. Yeah, the weather worldwide is messed up. Rain, heat. Yes, Dane Wigington. I did not have an opportunity to listen to his show there. So that link is on Concerted Collusion Studying Multi-Institutional Cover-Up. Well, as far as the stalkers go, no, of course they're not here to help. Their goal is to make your life as miserable as possible, collect information, collect data, hope that you're going to act out against them, being as annoying as possible, damage your property. Okay, I see my little kitty is here. 1 second. Kitty, I was wondering where you were. Come in. Come in. Nettie says, like I said earlier, God doesn't like ugly and he sees everything that these evils are doing, and they're going to face God. And I guarantee they ain't going to be so tough then. Forsyth says, if you can focus on your life and money completely, even if you're by yourself, because you're removed and blocked from all of them out of your life, that's still a win there. Well, it's very difficult to focus on those things when every day somebody's damaging your property, damaging your clothes, harming animals to the point where it costs you money. I probably spent 2 hours cleaning my driveway a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday? It was yesterday. 2 hours in the heat, scraping algae, green algae that they planted on my driveway, cleaning up all the debris. They sort of crushed branches, dead leaves and stuff. They just filthy my property. They have thrown dead leaves all over the back of my yard here. Let's see, how young and how old are stalkers? You think there's a 90-year-old on your library computer next to you? Oh, they're definitely all ages. Exactly, see. Sean, welcome. Exactly. When you have money, they make you spend it. Hi Brenda, welcome. They make you spend it by breaking something, stealing something. I sent a certified letter to our sheriff, way past due, because it was sitting here for like 9 months. 2024, all the items that were stolen from inside my house. It was approximately $7,400 in items stolen from inside of my house. And the piece of shit sheriff does nothing because he and his family are all in on it. They get off on it. That's the way they make their extra money, by stealing from other people. That's okay. One day, if they get to make it to my age, they're going to wish that their children were nice to them. Because the way they're raising their kids, that ain't gonna happen. If you raise your kids to be disrespectful to a female, a one that you don't know, one who is a senior, then you are going to experience that when you are my age too, and you won't like it. Let's see, they hit you with dues and you smoke cigarettes. You're always running back and forth to the store to get something to smoke because I can't stand it. Oh, you have a lot of fireworks there? It's very quiet here. Let's see, the entire family gave you the stink eye when you won the S&P. Oh, well, good for you. I'm so glad that happened. Yeah, they are raising future criminals. And that's why our society is screwed. When I lived in New Jersey, the fireworks were crazy. There was always one house that was the loudest. It would just get louder and louder as the night went on because they were all getting high. Hi, Land Shark. Welcome, welcome. And he says, I had a lot of witchcraft done to me, but I have my armor of God on and I'm covered in the blood of Jesus Christ, so it affected me little, but not as they wanted it to. You're going through your closets and cupboards and discovering all the thefts and vandalism, all your clothes and items destroyed. I believe $500,000 in damages to replace. I absolutely agree. In New Jersey, and this did not include my clothing or my pets or the added medical bills for the pets that I had to pay because of what they did to my animals. But the vandalism on my house in New Jersey was about approximately $300,000 over those years. Then there were things they did to the car, my clothes. They stole my prescription glasses. And then when I moved here, they stole every one of my prescription sunglasses and regular glasses. I mean, Kentucky is a piece of shit state. I will never, when I leave here, I will never return. Zero. The people here suck. Every one of them sucks. At least the local ones. Disgusting pieces of crap. Let's see, Nick says they owe me at least $500K minimum. I haven't even included my clothing because generally when they damage my clothes, I might wear them once or twice more, but I throw them out. Like I purchased, I'm going to say maybe in my second or third year here, I'm subscribed to Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and they were selling some really cool sweatshirts, hooded sweatshirts, and I purchased two of them, and they damaged both of them. I had to the point where I had to throw them both away. I didn't even have them a year. I had to throw them both away. Yes, all the things that they destroyed. What about all the things that they've stolen? You know? But everything that they steal from you, it's going to come back on them. All the money that they're making off of harassing you and me, it's going to be taken back from them. JJ says they owe us all a couple of million each for what they've done. I'm going to say they owe us at least $1 million per year of targeting. Let's see. Nettie says a friend of mine bought me this plaque that I have hanging in my bedroom, and it says the best revenge is to live well. Well, that's true. They hate that. They stole the trivet out of your Instapot. Yes, a little town of loser, snitch, spy bastards. Well, there was somebody that posted. Now, I'm going to say this is at least a year ago. There was somebody that was consistently posting comments on my videos, that says that I'm surrounded by spies and that there are 2 men living on my property. Let's see, you can't even come up with a number, and the health they've stolen from you is hard to put a number to. Your teeth, retinas, you still have a hike in your eye, blood clots, on and on. There is no number to place on what they've done to our health. There is no number. They've taken years off of our lives, healthy years. And for that they owe, it's multi-millions of dollars. But the karma is coming for these losers. They don't think so, but it is. Let's see, people talk about other situations like they're choosing to be targeted when none of us asked for it. No, of course nobody asked for this. And also, I mean, every targeted person I've spoken to, and including myself, we had no idea that we were targeted. We just kind of thought, well, these weird things are happening. It could have taken years to figure out what was happening. So nobody asks for this. Elsie says they owe me for at least 25 years. Yeah, the damages and the loss. And that's another thing. That's a really good point, Brenda, about your intellectual property. Stealing your ideas and marketing your merchandise. Remember, if they're like reading your thoughts or putting you to sleep, a hypnosis and stuff, they are stealing your intellectual property. They're stealing your dreams. And so there are some people that actually create in the dream world when you're at rest. And they steal your intellectual property. They are literally sabotaging and setting up manufactured obstacles. It doesn't matter how motivated you are, things are rigged to a degree in this program. I agree. They sabotage everything. I mean, there was a time in my life, I mean, obviously, when I would just work hard. You get promoted, you get, opportunities, you collaborate with people, starting businesses, relatively easy, no problems. And then suddenly you get these snag, you know. Who has a 3-year long divorce? It's like, I'm not a celebrity. A 3-year long divorce is craziness. Yes, they prevent the destiny. And remember that the higher up people, they have your date, time, and place of birth, so they know. They've been following us from birth. The deletes, I call them the deletes. They've been following you from birth, so they know that when you're going to come into your own astrologically through transits and progressions and what you've accomplished, and they intercept that. They're scared. People who do that, who want to control other people, they are scared. They feel threatened. Okay, the commercials on this live stream and other chats is usually mid-roll. So we're at 11:26 p.m. So usually around 11 o'clock, you'll get some advertisements. And that's the way we have to do that to make a little money. We all put in a lot of time and effort into creating videos and these live streams and stuff. So listening to the advertisements really does help. It's free. If you listen to 30 seconds, it really helps. Let's see, people don't want to struggle or choose to be in these positions. Targeting has literally affected many people's progress in life. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Nick. That's really sweet for you to say. Let's see, turning my family and community against me is the worst. Absolutely, that is the worst. You want your reputation returned too. Well, those are probably the two worst things that they do. In addition to what they do to your animals, what they do to pets. I can't even show some of what they do to my animals here. It's too grotesque. But fortunately, I do share the images with some people. We have multi-million dollar ideas, can't talk about it, can't write it down, can't think about it, or they steal it. That's true. They steal everything. They can't create for themselves, so they have to steal from others. That's why they're losers. They can't be very happy. Happy people focus on their own lives. They don't have an interest in what other people are doing because they don't care. Who cares? I mean, unless that person is important to them, there's absolutely no reason. Losers 101. They even destroy the brick on your house, the plaster. Yes, that's what they do. The tiles on the floor, the lawn, the mower. They kill the grass. They ruin your clothes. I mean, this is craziness. It is very sick. You know what I've noticed, Nettie? On everybody's videos, and it's not just the lives, everybody's videos, there's just so many advertisements. Like it used to be, I'm going to say like maybe a year and a half ago, you get like one advertisement and you could fast forward it. But then I've noticed recently, it doesn't matter like how long your video is, you're going to get more and more advertisements. Like I'm getting even pissed off like watching other people's videos. There's so many ads. And some of them are some of the ads are kind of interesting. Like I don't mind listening to some ads that are teaching me something, but a lot of them are not. I get a life welcome. I had a 20-minute ad on my video today. 20-minute ad? Oh, well, you know what? I have listened to some of those ads. I was thinking it was a video, not just on my channel, but on other people's channels. I thought that they were like a video, and I started listening to it and not realizing it was an advertisement because they weren't really selling something. They were just like having a conversation. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. You don't like the ads during you miss part of the conversation. JJ says I would like these peeps to be in the house arrest and wear that color. Now I hear you, Elsie. You kind of have to stop caring to survive, and that's sort of like what's happening with these cats and these kittens, because there's just too many getting harmed. It's heartbreaking. It's gotten to the point where I don't even name them anymore. If I don't name them, then I don't have a relationship with them. And I've been so busy. Like there are some kittens that I want to name. I used to come up with kitten names like very easily, and now it's like I can't even concentrate on getting names for these kitties. So for the people who listen to the MK Ultra hearing with Luna, I don't think I got to hear the ending. Did they decide that they're going to continue, or did they request additional information? Yes, I have a birthday in July person. I am a birthday in July person. How many people in the chat are born in the month of July? I can't stand what they do to the animals. And I'll tell you, when I move from Kentucky, I will not miss the insects one bit. It's like I'm sure every state has bugs, but this is disgusting. And I know that a lot of it's manufactured. Sometimes there are more insects in my house than there are outside. It's sick. These witches. I had some really cute names for my roosters, but then I guess the perps didn't like the names for my roosters, like Tucker Carlson. They killed. They killed Tucker Carlson. They killed Trey Gowdy. They killed Rand Paul. Let's see. The people that gang stalked me in Florida killed two of my cats, so I know firsthand how evil these bastards are. Oh, they killed so many of my animals. Yeah, Johnny Depp. Yes, yes. Johnny Depp's gone. That rooster's gone too. I had a hen, well, a rooster named Tina Turner, because when Tina Turner was a baby, she had the best hair. But Tina Turner turned into a rooster, but I still kept the name Tina, and the rooster would respond to Tina. And then unfortunately, Tina got attacked by the fox. Let's see, you can't see anything from JJ, what people respond to. Let's see. Yeah, they just killed way too much. Oh, so you get the commercials through the entire life, even if I'm watching a movie with ads. It's like 100 ads. It takes 3 hours to get through a 2-hour movie. Yeah, I've noticed there are a lot more advertisements everywhere, just everywhere. You get ads for the little blue pill for men. you're you're sick of hearing about it with these nasty women talking about how big they have a man judo. Let's see. You've been having the last 5 minutes trying to get to Freya's cat rescue, and Copa seems to want me to stop from donating. And let me just find the link. I'll probably record some more of Brian Cochran's testimony. He's got so many of them and they're so long. And the same with Kay Griggs. I just love watching her. She makes me smile. I'm going to post a link for anybody that wants to donate to the kitties. Or buy us a coffee. Or can of cat food. Let's see. You subscribe to a channel to help me. Let's see, one of them left my back door open a little bit, and one of your kids got out and never came home, and the other one got in the house. Brenda says, I'm so glad I never married into a military. Well, if you search YouTube, there are a lot of military people that have offed their wives. There was actually one here in Kentucky. Buck Ransom, I'm not sure what you can't be yourself here. No, the military is not a mentally healthy environment because they're bringing in teenagers. And the brain is still developing until the age of 21, 23. So they're bringing in like 18-year-olds and they're literally brainwashing them to be aggressive, to work to the maximum, to be followers, order takers, to not think for themselves. Nick says, can you imagine how big the chat will be when everyone becomes targeted? Let's see, there are witches and warlocks and demons, and I mean that literally, not figuratively. Well, I watched an interview last year. I've mentioned it a few times on the channel, and you could probably still find it. And the heading was, is the military a cult? And there was a former military guy and a woman, and they're having this conversation and throughout. And so they came to the conclusion that yes, the military is a cult. And they use certain criteria for what is and isn't a cult. Hi, Ace of Cups, welcome. Buck Ransom, I don't believe that you broke any kind of a guideline. I've got another little buggy flying around here. Brenda says, I noticed working in schools that most of the special needs kids were also military families. Oh, that's interesting. Some families with many special needs kids. Genetics doesn't work that way. Soldiers are heavily vaxxed. That is true. And you have to wonder if those children are being experimented on at a very young age and even their parents are not aware of it. Gigi says, when it comes to killing of the pets, it's when you're not home or they trap them. They're constantly threatening me with my home. It's their new thing. That's a good point, Julius, that the military families move around a lot and it's sometimes tough on kids. And they do. They do move around a lot. And sometimes they move around not even in the same country. I think that there are huge hotbeds of occult crimes across the United States. It seems to be increasing. Let's see, what about the Army veteran that was on your property? Yeah, I don't know who that guy was. I have no idea who that was. I mean, obviously he's a retired guy, and he was a nasty. You drive onto somebody's property, you just stare them down. Like, what the hell? That's so entitled. Let's see, they're so intimidated. They have to indirectly stalk perps or real absolutely, they're cowards. Yeah, this is really not a place to be arguing with each other. And we've got like another 15 minutes left in the chat. The military performs experiments on its own people. Michael Aquino got away with child abuse on the Army base in the 1980s. That is true. That is true. And that guy was demonic looking. He looked like the devil incarnate. He was very sinister looking. And he either authored or co authored that book, Mind Wars. I hear you, JJ. Oh, it's just so sad. It's just so sad. Oh, that's interesting, Annie. Is that how that works? Like if you pay for YouTube, you don't get commercials? I haven't banned anybody from the chat unless they're a perp. Let's see, they're not going to investigate themselves, Lorraine. No, they're not. Everywhere you go, Buck, you carry the shadow of destruction. It's you. You just can't see it. Oh, interesting. You have helicopters and drones. I've been so busy, like on the property cleaning, that I haven't noticed as much. Usually, when there are copters and planes overhead, I'll come into the house and write it down, in a notebook here. but I haven't been paying as much attention to it. But they have been spraying the skies. Like there was a big X over my property this morning. I just didn't get to it in time. It started to dissipate so that I didn't have time to photograph it. Oh, YouTube Premium. Is that what that is? YouTube Premium. Okay. I mean, the unfortunate thing is listening to the commercials helps uh the person who's monetized. Because we get a couple of cents or dollars for listening to ads. Yeah, I don't like the arguing here. Um, it's not cool. I don't know who started it, because I'm talking and listening to other things. Oh, you can't see JJ's comments. Oh, well, wait a minute. There's something like if you go, Joe taught me how to do this. That you have to go to the top, and I think you have to click on. You have to click on the three dots, and I think it's participants. I forget what it is. That was happening to me a couple of weeks ago. You have to go, let me see. It's not top chat. That's not it. I think you have to click on live chat so that all of the comments are visible. Like you go to the top, I don't know if you see the same thing that I see. You go to the top at the very top, and there's a little arrow like on the left, and you have to hit live chat, and that shows all the comments. You click all messages, yes. I didn't realize that that was an option. I just thought it was automatic. Exactly. We all have enough trouble with perps. We don't want them here. Because I didn't realize that I didn't even click on live chat. The live gets all the comments. So I might not have been seeing all the comments either. Hi, welcome, welcome. Hi, LJ, welcome. Well, a buck ransom. Obviously you're still here, so continually asking Joe what you've done wrong is futile because you're still here and able to comment. So let's drop it. Drop it. Yes, it's still Independence Day. It's still July 4th. Pretty soon, in a few minutes, it'll be July 5th, and I guess our independence is over. We will be done. Yeah, bedtime soon. I've got a kitty in here that I've got to get back into her house. She's actually asleep right behind me. It is a good community. Yes, you're green font. I'm not exactly sure what it all means. I think it has something to do with how many times you comment or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Anybody who's in the chat is entitled to block anybody that they want. Oh, is Creepy still there? Creepy, he's such a coward, so we can understand what the hell he's saying. Oh, well, wait a minute. One of my subscribers actually ran it, I think, through Audacity, and the Creepy is constantly saying my name. I would have to find it. Let me see if I could find it. Let me see. Oh, you know what? It was on his channel. But I'll post this link here because you can actually hear the creepy voice on my porch camera say my name, and it was actually July 20th, 2025. It was on my porch camera where creepy voice said my name before the explosion during the live stream last year. Creepy, sign in, please. That's funny. Okay, let me get that. Let me get the link here so you can hear it. Hi, Owl Fringe. Welcome, welcome. Are you able to see if you can post the link to your channel in the chat? I know that on my regular videos, in the comment section, links are not permitted, but if you can post the link here, that would be great. So Julius is targeted since at least 2010, maybe longer. Let's see. Ace of Cups says, have you thought of following up with the PVA office and the veterinary office to see if changed their position? I have not considered contacting the veterinarian's office. The PVA office, I will be following up on. Yeah, because they have not responded to my email. And they will be getting a certified letter in addition to the sheriff as soon as I can print it out. Yeah, there's no change here. These are the criminals. It's a whole network of criminals here. The PVA office, Bobby Edwards, the county lawyer, the piece of crap that he is, the sheriff, the magistrate, the judge executive. They're all criminals. They're all little criminal network. Let's see. You watched that video. You heard him. Wow. Yes. Yes. You watched the video and heard him say my name. Wow. I was on that chat, but I didn't hear him then. But I'm sure I heard it now from the link that I posted. Yes. Well, what happened was my porch camera had creepy saying my name, but the link that I post that you heard in the chat was a different camera. And that camera did not have the creepy voice. It just had the explosion. Yeah, so the creepy voice was in my porch camera. They're all criminal. Exactly, they're all. But you know what? A lot of people are complaining across the country saying the same thing that I'm talking about. And when I post this information online, other Kentuckians from different counties say they're experiencing the same thing in their county. So we can say that all of Kentucky is corrupt. Does it surprise anybody? You know, the corruption starts at the top and trickles way down. It's a creepy, yes, he's a creepy coward. Yes. Well, I'm very here. Let me just turn this off a second. I have like little alarms here. I'm um I'm a little I feel a little disturbed here. I'm a little by a comment that was just made here. One second. Let's see if I can find it again. Buck Ransom. Why are you asking Joe why he brought up Sesame Street a long time ago in a chat? What does that have to do with my chat? If you're going to bring up stuff from months ago in my chat, then you're not welcome here. Okay, that's not what this chat is about. And Joe is my moderator. So I would appreciate your stop harassing him. Okay, everybody. But anyway, now it is 12:01 a.m. It's July 5. And then we have no more Independence Day. Let's see. I think we should start dropping it to strangers all over when we can. The MK Ultra hasn't stopped. Hi, Powers Bova. Welcome, welcome. I put that person in timeout. And that was a smart thing to do, Joe. And you know what? I think I know who he is. I think I know who he is. Oh well, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Let's see, that congresswoman that ran and said something about looking into whether it's continued. Well, I certainly hope so. Yeah, I was going to ask because I didn't listen to the ending of that the MK Ultra. How it ended. Like, did they say there was going to be further investigation, that they were going to have another hearing? Like, how did it end? No, I did not. What happened to Mitch McConnell? I've been so busy the last few days, like actually all week. I have not been listening to the news. There are so many things that I'm so far behind on. Any word if he had recovered. Let's see, the CIA confiscated 40 boxes of MK Ultra material from Tulsi Gabbard's office before Tulsi got the axe. Oh, you're kidding, Nick. That's ridiculous. I have a feeling I know who that person is. Powers Bowes gets insane property damage to my condo from these monsters. They've been doing something to my dog too. She's been having some issues, and my vet is all perps. Yeah. I have a feeling his name is Robert. I think it's Rob Ransom. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that person. Okay, and yes, well, who's this new person? Let me see. Oh, he did. I did not know that. I did not know that. Hi, Rocco World. Welcome, welcome. This deep sleep technology sucks. They can use it on dogs. That's how they tortured my. Oh my, I'm so sorry. Well, they use it on me all the time. Yes, I'm going to continue the chat a little bit longer because I think Joe wanted to say something. Okay, so that person, I'm pretty sure his name is Robert. And I will tell you as a fact that I hired that guy, Robert, to redo my Freya's Cat Rescue website. And he worked on it for 9 months and it never worked. It never worked. And so I had placed him in contact with one of my long-term friends who's a technology person. And I don't know if that has something to do with something, but ever since that time, I don't hear from that friend anymore. So it might be just a coincidence, okay? It might be a coincidence. Okay, so supposedly the CIA Director Helms ordered all the MK Ultra documents destroyed in 1973, which was illegal, so the documents that survived should be released immediately. Yes, I did, but he actually did. He did refund me. He did. He did refund me, but he was doing some very bizarre things about what I wanted done to my website, and I was getting a bad vibe about it. So no, after 9 months, I still have a non-working website. I put him in contact with my technology, a person that I've known since I'm a teenager, and ever since that time, I don't hear. Yes, exactly, Nick. A lot of issues. I'm not saying he's a bad person or anything like that, but there's something. There's something. I can't put my finger on, and I don't have time. I just don't have time. Um, I don't like people causing trouble in the chat. And when we come here, we're all targeted. We all have difficult lives, and um, and I don't want anybody arguing with people in the chat. That's not what this chat is for. Yes, I do earn money from the commercials, the advertisements. So if you could listen to them for 30 seconds, it really does help. If you listen to a whole one, it'll usually say sponsored, like in the lower left hand corner. It may say sponsored one of two or one of three. If you could listen to one of them, like, when you're listening during the day or whatever, it really does help. That is how the channel makes money, is by listening to ads. Yes, exactly. I mean, but anyway, I'm going to wish everybody a good night. It's like a little bit after midnight, and I appreciate all you guys, and happy Independence Day. And thank you, everybody, for joining in and posting some great information. And yes, we will pray for Robert. And let's see. You can tell when the computer has somehow flagged me and their demeanor changes. Well, happy Independence Day, everybody. Thank you all. Let's see. David A says nothing new that isn't already public came out of the. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you all for joining in. And I hope everybody has a great night. I'm going to end the chat now because I do have to get this cat next door. And hopefully the frogger won't become frogging into my house. Yes, stay strong, everybody. Have a great night. And I'll talk to y'all guys soon.